Hello, today is Friday, June 3rd, 2002. Okay, it's a book review and 1001 Days Memoirs of an Empress by Her Imperial Majesty Farah Pahlavi-Chapter 3. This book review will be done only in English language. So I divided this chapter to the section of trust, portfolios, education, and Emil Durkheim, mechanical solidarity versus organic solidarity. Okay. The king trusted Her Imperial Majesty Farah Pahlavi for her decision-making abilities and competence. Thus, the king wanted Her Imperial Majesty Farah Pahlavi to manage and direct portfolios that they had a direct impact on Iranians. The king trusted Her Imperial Majesty Pahlavi to the point that the king decided that if he departed from this world, she would be the regent of Iran. England and Russia deemed Iran as their satellite state. Iran could not make an independent domestic policy or foreign policy without the prior approval of England or Russia. The Consulate of England and Russia decided Iran's domestic and foreign affairs. The Pahlavi dynasty cut off the influence of England and Russia on Iran. As a result, Iran became a sovereign state. The king did not let his guard down and remain alert to how the external forces pose a safety and security threat to the sovereignty of Iran. This is my point of view. His Imperial Majesty Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi was focusing to the external forces that are posing threat to the security of Iran. I'm assuming he may have underestimated the internal threat. And because Hossein Fardous was childhood friend of the king, and he was in position of power, particularly in the area of security, who betrayed the king. Then we have General Abbas Qarabaghi, who when General Hoizer, the US general, came to Iran, he consulted from the king, and the US general was able to convince the Imperial Iranian Armed Forces, the top brass, not to do coup when Khomeini arrives in Iran. That was the biggest mistake those military officers, top-ranking military officers, did. So the portfolio. Her Imperial Majesty Pahlavi did not want to become a symbolic figure over the portfolios such as orphans. She took an active role in managing, directing, and leading all her portfolios. Her priority was town planning, life, environment. She also took part in a senior committee for research, social affairs, medical care, tourism, education, and improvement of agricultural issues. The special evolved issues was the orphanage. She developed a new orphanage system which provided the orphans with proper attire, education, health, and nutrition. The dormitories did not have numbers, but they had flower names instead. Orphans were not packed in a room like the sardines in a can. The above program developed other programs for mothers and newborn babies to build a healthy country from its foundation. Her Imperial Majesty Farah Pahlavi and the king decided to build an inclusive community for individuals diagnosed with leprosy. The individuals could work and carry out their daily tasks without being shunned in the community and receive medical treatments. The program was a true success story. However, the World Health Organization rejected the program without any specific explanation. Her Imperial Majesty Farah Pahlavi engaged with the individuals diagnosed with leprosy to remove the stigma about leprosy. She interacted with the individuals with leprosy, and sometimes the individuals would show their love and admiration for her by kissing her face. Her Imperial Majesty Farah Pahlavi never had health issues regarding leprosy. Education. The King and Her Imperial Majesty Farah Pahlavi wanted Iran to become industrialized by promoting education in Iran. A substantial amount of public funds was allocated toward Iran's education inside of Iran and outside of Iran. The Pahlavi dynasty wanted to be the vanguard of education because Persia was the first to invent writing and tame the horse. Persia gave birth to the great forebears of medicine, mathematics, and modern astronomy. Furthermore, some of our philosophers and great poets have influenced generations of Western thinkers and writers. Andrew Marlowe, I apologize for not pronouncing it properly. He says, the world owes much to the history of Persia, but under Greco-Roman influence, many Europeans have forgotten. The quote is taken from pages from 73 to 74. So we are talking about Emil Durkheim theory about mechanical solidarity versus organic solidarity. Her Imperial Majesty says, okay, we are moving Iran toward industrialization. When it's a mechanical society, families are very close to with each other. They spend great amount of time with each other. They get to know each other very well. There's a family connection. But what happens when you move toward organic solidarity? They are working longer hours, they don't get to see each other, and they just keep buying goods. Consumerism is saying it. And there will be new challenges for Iranians to deal with it. So it is like a sword that has a double edge. It has some goods and it has some bad issues. Who has the biggest yacht? Who has the biggest mansion? So it is very interesting. Thank you.